Here I have to say, the recording on this phone is very different. Make sure the shoe cleared up. Yep, looks a lot better. But like I was just making a video about 20 minutes long, just running around chatting, and like if a piece of sweat even falls on the screen, it will like somehow it picks that up as like my finger, and it'll just turn itself off. It's just like shit. Fuck. That'll be my luck. That's what would happen if anything ever did jump out. I don't really care if I ever get anything on video. I just do it just for the fun of it. I just like video and crap. And plus, I just got me a new SD card for my phone, and that thing is 64 gigs. So I could pretty much go literally all day. I think 56 gigabytes is what I have left. And that's just on the card. But, yeah, I'll just sort of run through what I was saying in that. Was I had two new ideas. One of them came from Bipedalist. I was listening to one of his podcasts, and it was rhythmic knocks. Because, when I think about it now, the first knocks that I ever experienced were rhythmic. It was rhythm. See, I left my axe up in the car because it's been raining, and I didn't want to, just be walking around with an axe in my hand for as slick as things can get up here. But, yeah, the idea was rhythmic knocking. First kind of knocking I ever experienced. I'd never really thought of that until just now. That was the first that I'd ever experienced of a wood knock. Or, wood knock. That was obviously not wood. But it was knocking down there. Maybe just clapping its hands or hitting a bowl or something. Because there was a bowl that went missing. And it did sound just like what it sounds like if you take a stick and hit the bottom of that bowl. But yeah, I just try to mix the patterns up instead of just doing the basic 1, 2, 3. Hey, here I am. Actually try to be interesting with it. And I think that's a fantastic piece of information. So you can see, I've been following this the whole way through. And some of it's laid down pretty flat. It's pretty wide. Could be a bear. It's not really leaving any big marks. But the second idea is concerning what happened last time I was up here. One of them went running, imagine, it wasn't like here, but imagine, see how this goes up, and it just gets steeper and steeper up through there. Now, in the other video, you couldn't see that. Because, I don't know how to use a camera. And apparently my exposure was a little too extreme for down here. There were a couple of better settings that were on that should have been off, which I'm pretty sure I fixed that now. This thing is nutty. It is just a cell phone. But, ran up the hill 4 steps. You could feel it in the ground, shaking the ground. This has happened once before. Actually getting pretty close to the spot now, but it happened on the day that I discovered where I leave my stuff now. You had the little buddy. Little lizard. Those are laying around all over the place. That's another reason why I walk looking down. Oh, that's pathetic. Hurts my hand. But, yeah, as I was coming back from those experiences, I explored a little bit more of that rock ledge that goes around that basically I was sleeping on top of. That was the guy I'm going to Oklahoma with coming back saying it was okay for me to go. He said it was okay for me to switch the date in October to a later one because during that second opening it was going to be a fuller moon, whereas before it was going to be pretty much totally blacked out. I don't know what you call that, but basically I don't like to use flashlights when they're around at night because I know that has to hurt really bad. Even getting the light close to your eyes for something that has night vision, that has to hurt so bad. So, and it does seem to run them off. So, just leave it off when you know they're around, because you're not going to be moving around a whole lot. But like I was saying, as I approach this ledge, this new area that I've never been to before, it's on video. I never did really talk about it much at that time. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it since then in the videos, but you could feel the ground start shaking. As let's say like the ledge is like over there where that little log is right here. I'm touching it. I'm touching it too. Oh. Yeah, okay. But let's say that's the ledge, and it goes down. It's about 8 foot. It runs from about 7 to 9 feet. Okay, and so this wraps around like this, right? It wraps around, and like right here is a bunch of brush, like dead trees and shit like this. It's stacked way up, and it sort of juts out a little bit. This ledge right here is just a huge boulder sitting there, and it's smooth. You could slide down it really easy. So let's say I'm walking up to it about right here, because it goes down, and there's a lot of brush down there. You feel the ground shake. Something just running straight for that rock. Do 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 do, and it stops right there at the rock. And I just abruptly stop talking as soon as I feel that. You hear it and feel it. I don't think that the microphones picked it up at all. I could go back and look because I still have that video saved on my computer. But I keep approaching it, whatever. And so I walk up on it like this. I'm looking over, looking down, let's say. I mean, I could probably show you that area when I walk back through there. But, there's all this brush right here. No matter how you lean over, you're not going to see past what's right here just to the right over that. And, I didn't see anything, and I just walked back. I thought at the time of sliding down that rock, but I realized, I don't really know how I would get back up from it, and whatever it is probably still standing right there. And if I slide down that, I'm going to be face to face with it, and you always got to leave a opening possibility for bears, especially at that time. It just happened, so I wasn't really thinking it through. 350, 400 pounds does not make the ground shake when it runs. Now, something like what I saw, the big red dude, now that guy probably easily, I could believe, a half a ton, with the breadth of his shoulders and the obvious height, obviously taller than me, but I don't know exactly how tall. I've never been able to figure it out. That could easily be, half a ton. Now that running on 2 legs, all of its weight supported on 2 legs, could easily make the ground shake. That's the time I wasn't thinking of this. I was thinking, potential danger. Probably shouldn't go down there and, eye it, because I'm going to be right on top of it. I mean, I might as well just jump on the thing's back, assuming it was still standing there, because obviously ground's not going to shake when it's just walking. Just throw that as a rock. But so I thought about it and just left, and that was pretty much the end of the day. But that's the first time I'd ever experienced the ground shaking when something ran away from me. There's my little lizard. Step over. Don't kill the wildlife. But the second time it happened, I wrote it off officially as a bear. Black bears do not make the ground shake when they run away. They just don't, especially not at that distance. Because the first time I had experienced it, it was a lot closer. Obviously, the vibrations were a lot more intense. But it was a lot closer. This one much, much further away. I mean, we're talking like, see if you can see it. No, I mean, the camera, like, do you see like this back in here, all the way back in there, that down tree that's kind of leaning over and it's creating like a V shape back in there? I would estimate that that's about the distance that this thing that was running was from me. It took 4 steps, and it still made the ground shake, even though it was that far away, running up the hill. Sort of, it might have been, this probably isn't that far from it, but it was like maybe starting around in here and just running up. Couldn't see it, it was just out of view. I was getting ready to get it into view. Probably still wouldn't have been able to have seen anything more than, stuff moving, but I wrote it off officially as a bear. Just for the record, that wasn't a bear, because 350-pound animals don't do that, as I've already said. But the new idea, instead of the rhythmic knocks, it was something I picked up from another podcast, is to that's one thing I can say about back in here. It is very pretty.